Hi everybody, this is a podcast by me, Wendy Rosvall-Brookes. I asked for some questions from you all today on my Facebook page and I'm going to answer them now for you. Stephanie said, is the Gold Coast going to boom again? I feel the Gold Coast is going to have a really big empty out. I also see a bit of a flood coming from the sea area rather than the river area. But as I scan forward, like years and years and years, the place looks like Hawaii with lots of passovers and massive big motorways. So if you're talking in investment terms, probably around June, July, August is the time to look at properties. I feel the market's got a long way to go first before we see the end of the so-called crash. I really don't think it's reached its crash peak yet. So I hope that answers your question, Stephanie. Celia says, is it okay to put up or down animals? You know, we all come in with some exit points and a life expectancy. I feel as parents of animals rather than owners of animals, we need to do what's right for that animal at that time. The hard thing is that they can't speak English when they're suffering. So personally, I've had an animal that's been put down, and at the time it was the right thing to do. Hope that answers your question. But I believe they go up, and I'm looking forward to seeing my dog Tinker one day, hopefully not too soon. Kelly, can our future path be changed or is it set? We all come down with lessons to learn and experiences to have. That's the only reason we're here. And the soon as we can walk faster through them, the better off we are. So if you're going through something, just cancel the energy and move on to the next thing, and hopefully upstairs gives you 5 minutes to have a little rest and a breathe. We have free will over those lessons and experiences. So, you know, you might marry someone to have those lessons and experiences and maybe to have children with them. But once those lessons are finished, God can give you free will to leave that marriage, so to speak. So can our future path be changed or is it set? It can be changed. You have free will, and upstairs will provide you with 2 ways to go in most situations. But the best way to choose is the most bravest and to be fearless. Not always quite cool, is it? Lauren, do you believe there is an ending to the world like the Bible says? I believe the Bible is quite a great book. And I believe it has a lot of good in it. And I know that when I touch it, I feel, it makes me feel really good. However, it is an account of what men saw happen a long time ago. So I once really wanted to study religion, philosophy, and there was one more, psychology, to try and get to the truth. Where we've got amazing women out there like Kathleen McGowan and all her books and all her studies, which she's been doing for years, can help us find the truth. So I sort of opt out of that one. I believe there is an ending to what we know now of what I call very low frequency, which is like what it says in the Bible, the greed, the gluttony, the doing wrong to your neighbour. I believe that's all going to go, and I believe we're seeing that density of the world crumble now. Like even yesterday, what's happening in Greece. I was talking to a Greece client this morning, and he could not believe what his country is doing, the banking system. If you haven't heard about it, what they're doing is, I believe, don't quote me, they're taking 20% of all savings from the Greek people and people that have saved in Greece to give to the bankers to hold up the banking institution. I think that's what they're doing, but it's not a good call. So things like that, the changing weather patterns that I believe are man-made anyhow, are changing how we live. The food, there's no food anymore. You walk in supermarkets, all processed rubbish, and education on television is all to do with fast food, and my God, it makes me, you know, you will see more in the world of a vegan and vegetarian based diet, and even fruition, which surrounds Satari on my webpage, is a great teacher of that. So people will also be moving into a higher frequency of food. So what's going to happen, I've digressed a little bit, is people are going to move out of dense frequency and into a high vibrational frequency. And whilst doing so, the older dense ways of living will go, they will cease. And if you're not awake yet, if you don't know this, you will be left behind to eat the low frequency food, to live a low frequency existence. I would say it's better to wake yourselves up before that happens. I hope that's answered your question. I don't feel the world will end. I feel we're going into a nirvana-like state, or what I call a Shambhala-like state. A lot of people I know are living it now, and are courageous in doing so. It's just the act of being free as a human being, or free as a spiritual being, having a human experience in this world. So, no is the answer, Lauren. Michelle, you asked, can we change free will by making bad decisions, i.e. getting into a car drink driving, I think you said, and crashing? We come down here with 5 exit points, which is you can go home 5 times, and by home I mean where we're from. You have 5 exit points apparently. So say if you were getting into a car intoxicated and you crashed and died, that would be one of your exit points, and your soul decided it was time to go home. If you got in there into the vehicle and you crashed and you killed somebody or maimed them, that is a horrific karma to play out, and it's also a lesson that you or the person being hit and maimed or killed chose to have the experience of that. I know this personally. My brother died drunk driving. Luckily he didn't hit anyone. But he provided in doing so, obviously, grief, but also a very hard lesson for my family, and still does. So free will, yes, free will to get in the car, yes. So the answer to that is yes. I'm wishing everyone a wonderful and prosperous week ahead, and God love you in my language. Ciao.